and welcome. This is Ameco and you're watching our daily updates live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia. I'm Gaila Damu. Stay tuned. President Sahle-Work Zewde has emphasized the importance of strengthening the ongoing endeavors for having women in leadership positions through quality training. Branu Ismail has the details.
Presidential Leadership Program for Women Leaders in Ethiopia, organized jointly by United Nations Women Ethiopia, the Ministry of Women and Social Affairs and the Office of the President, with the objective of creating the platform for networking, cross-learning and knowledge sharing among women leaders that are part of the 6 rounds of presidential leadership training closed. Addressing the closing ceremony, President Sahle-Work said the training is instrumental to realize the ambition of having competent women and empowering them into high-level leadership roles. The training has been given for about 180 mid-level women leadership from various parts of the country, representing the government institutions, civil society organizations, and from the private sector during the first 6 rounds of the program. According to the President, the training has further prioritized how to encourage women, supporting them in a concrete manner, and creating opportunities that would help them to maximize their role in the country's leadership. Minister of Women and Social Affairs Ergoget Sfai said on her part, the government of Ethiopia is working to ensure the inclusive participation and benefit of women by designing legal frameworks and strategies. In this regard, the Minister of Women and Social Affairs, in collaboration with other pertinent stakeholders, is working to ensure the inclusive engagement and benefit of women based on the 10-year development plan of the country, Ergoget indicated. The minister stated that providing capacity building training with the target of increasing the role of women in leadership and decision-making is one of the plans for the ongoing budget year. The recent mid-level women leadership training is part of the plan, she pointed out. Ergoget affirmed the commitment of her ministry to consolidate the provision of such significant capacity-building training programs for women in collaboration with other stakeholders. Chair of the Women Caucus at the House of People's Representatives of Ethiopia, Kimia Jundi, on her part said that acquiring all-round knowledge for women is essential to overcome challenges at the national, continental and global level these days. The chair stressed the need for the continuity of giving the training to develop effective and succeeding women leadership to realize Ethiopia's development and prosperity. It was learned that the training was organized with the financial support of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and United Nations Women Ethiopia.
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed disclosed that seedlings are under preparation across Ethiopia for this year's planting season as part of the Green Legacy Initiative. Ethiopia's Green Legacy Initiative is more than just planting. It is an integrated management of existing forests and biodiversity, the Premier shared on X page. Prime Minister Abiy added that the Green Legacy Initiative is also crucial to restoring mass degraded landscapes and improving the ecosystem. Abiy stated that as we prepare for this year's planting season ahead of us, seedlings are under preparation throughout the country. As part of the ambitious Green Legacy Initiative to plant 50 billion trees in 2 phases, Ethiopia successfully planted 32.5 billion seedlings to date. The initiative is a demonstration of Ethiopia's long-term commitment to a multifaceted response to the impacts of climate change and environmental challenges, it was learned. A film that showcases the patriotism and bravery of the Ethiopian National Defense Force premiered. Entitled For the Love of Motherland, the film was screened at the Adwa Memorial Museum. Prime Minister and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces Abiy Ahmed, Chief of Staff Field Marshal Birhanu Jula, Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Turune, Defense Minister Abraham Belai, regional presidents, ambassadors and military attaches of different countries attended the screening. During the occasion, Chief of Staff Field Marshal Birhanu said that the Ethiopian National Defense Force documented the law enforcement operation in the northern part of the country by involving professionals. In that regard, he pointed out that a book has already been published and the film is a true story of patriotism. For the Love of Motherland was reportedly premiered at the Pan-African Film and Art Festival in Los Angeles and received certificate of recognition along with other 2 films. According to the Field Marshal, Ethiopia was able to tell its truth through the film at the Pan-African Film and Arts Festival. With an estimated 30,000 film extras and cutting-edge special effects, the film was directed by Theodros Tashome. Prosperity Party Vice President Amhara said that his ruling party has delivered on its promises through the effective execution of the national mega projects. Brown Workana has the details.
Addis Ababa Prosperity Party Members Forum was held at the newly built Adwa Victory Memorial under the theme Putting Words into Action for the Ethiopia Prosperity. In his keynote address to the forum, Vice President of Prosperity Party Amhara underlined the party has carried out extensive and successful activities in a few years. Adam stated that under the leadership of the Prosperity Party, Ethiopia has achieved great success in all-round development activities following the implementation of the homegrown economic reform program. In particular, Adam mentioned the ongoing massive development activities that have been carried out to make the capital Addis Ababa modern and comfortable for living. Therefore, these huge development projects being executed have proved that the incumbent government is successfully putting words into actions, Adam elaborated. Adam further mentioned that efforts are being made to make Addis Ababa a showcase of the national success story narrative, he said, adding that the ruling party will work diligently to respond to the questions raised by the public in various forums. The vice president also stresses the need for strengthening internal party discipline, unity, solidarity and brotherhood among the party members. On her part, Mayor of Addis Ababa City Administration Adanesh Abebe said the multifaceted development and modernization activities being carried out in Addis Ababa are even receiving appreciation internationally. Given the massive infrastructure development in Addis Ababa, the mayor underscored that there is sufficient evidence that these projects have been changing the face of the city and increased its economic and social activities. Adanesh, who is also the executive committee member of Prosperity Party, elaborated that the ruling Prosperity Party passed through difficulties over the last years. She revealed that the party has overcome challenges due to the persistence of its political goals and principles. Adanesh added the multifaceted successes that Prosperity Party has recorded will provide inspiration and motivation to realize the party's future ambition.
Spain's ambassador to Ethiopia highlighted cooperation between the two countries and emphasized further collaboration. And Netanyahu has the details.
Recall the newly appointed Spanish ambassador to Ethiopia presented his credentials to President Sahle-Work on 14 March 2024. During the occasion, the ambassador conveyed a message of friendship from the Spanish government and His Majesty King Felipe VI to President Sahle-Work. It was stated that the message underscored the positive spirit of the bilateral relationship between Ethiopia and Spain. Approached by Ethiopian news agency, the newly appointed ambassador noted that Spain and Ethiopia have been enjoying a very good relationship and his country is actively supporting Ethiopia's development endeavors. More importantly, Ambassador McLennan expressed the commitment of Spain to further consolidate its cooperation with Ethiopia in the spheres of women empowerment, environmental protection and healthcare.
We are working in different strands. For example, we are improving and trying to help on the women empowerment in the different regions of Ethiopia, also in the field of specialized health in different hospitals around Ethiopia, and finally in our common fight against climate change.
Moreover, the ambassador sees tremendous potential between Ethiopia and Spain for expanded cooperation in the global arena.
I think we have many things to work, especially at the UN level, improving the system of international governance, and also as a member of the European Union we can help for having a more integrated approach in our relationships.
The ambassador recalled that the long-standing relationship between the two countries goes back decades, noting Spain's presence in Ethiopia since the early 1960s.
As we proceed to news beyond borders, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Sunday reiterated calls for an immediate ceasefire in war-torn Gaza and to allow humanitarian aid to reach the starving population in the coastal enclave. Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry in Cairo looking at Gaza, it almost appears that the four horsemen of war, famine, conquest and days are galloping across it. That is why the time for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire is now, he told a joint news conference with following talks. Shoukry said Palestinians in Gaza need a flood of aid, calling for opening border crossings and allowing aid trucks waiting on the Egyptian side of Rafah crossing to enter Gaza. Hamas is still holding an estimated 100 hostages and the remains of 30 others after most of the rest were freed in exchange for the release of Palestinian prisoners in November. Israel's bombardment killed more than 32,000 Palestinians and wounded over 74,000 others. More than 80% of Gaza's population of 2.3 million have fled their homes, with most seeking refuge in the southernmost city of Rafah, which Israel says will be the next target of its ground offensive, as African News reported it. As many as 2.2 billion people still live without access to safe drinking water and 3.5 billion lack access to decent sanitation, according to a new United Nations report published on World Water Day. Director of FAO's Land and Water Division in Rome said that the situation is really challenging. The UN report Water for Prosperity and Peace highlights that tensions over water are exacerbating conflicts worldwide. We say without water there is no life. Then without water there is no food. So water is the core, is the indispensable natural resources for sustainable development, for agriculture, for many different economic sectors. Among the countries most affected by water scarcity is Zimbabwe, which has been facing drought since last year, according to Life Inc. He said there was a concern about crop failure, with more than 2 million in Zimbabwe potentially facing hunger. Like some of its southern African neighbors, Zimbabwe is battling a devastating drought that aid agencies blame on El Nino and climate change. The southern African country's staple maize harvest is expected to have to 1.5 million tons in 2024 due to an El Nino-induced drought, as African News reported it. That's all the news we have for today. Thanks for watching and stay tuned with the rest of our programs.